From Wall Street to Main Street, this is LALATE.
It's a big evening as we go into evening's LALATE. $1,400 third stimulus checks landed in bank accounts today by direct deposits. $1,400 third stimulus checks will continue to be mailed out and will land in mailboxes tomorrow as well. More direct deposits will occur tomorrow as well, March 25th. But a new advisory from IRS sheds light on what could be happening. And a new surprising letter from Democrats say that there's actually an issue that needs to be addressed. All that shocking letter revealed earlier today on LALATE that talks about stimulus checks and their delivery and something that needs to be fixed. The fix is on the way and it's coming. Meantime, other countries are dealing with resurgence of the virus and unable to figure out how to deal with it. And Germany came under fire today after it had announced lockdowns for Easter and then reverted those lockdowns. Also, incredible great news from IRS about that $10,200 unemployment benefit. They relaxed the restrictions about how you use it, and I have all the great details about that right now on Evening's LALATE. Meantime, the 10-year Treasury note had promising starts today, coming in a little bit lighter, and the Commerce Department reported durable goods numbers. Janet Yellen and also your Federal Reserve Jerome Powell chair spoke today before the Senate Banking Committee. I'll have their comments as well. Home buyer numbers were in. Robinhood is going public. Tesla has new news. And meantime, surprising new developments about forced stimulus and what the president has in store. Meantime, if you didn't get your $1,400 third stimulus check today by direct deposit, what will happen tomorrow? And what about the mail? And for the first time ever, this channel clarifies the confusion about the mail date that you may see on the stimulus deposit when you track your IRS stimulus duel. All those incredible details in a big Evening's LA recording. I have all the breaking developments, and let's get underway, starting right now. How you doing? It's a big night across the board. And obviously, the number one question is, did you get it or did you not get it? Don't worry if you did not get your $14 third stimulus check today. I have the latest breaking developments, and I'm going to get to them right now. How are you? How is your evening going? Don't worry. Don't stress. Don't fret. I have all the breaking developments, and there's good news coming across the board. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. I'm with you 24/7, and I'm with you tomorrow as well. Also, like this video. And if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. The $1,400 third stimulus check landed in thousands of more viewers' bank accounts today by direct deposit. And yet, of course, as expected, some didn't get it. So what did you need to know? These are the breaking details. First, direct deposit of stimulus checks today, March 24th, was the result of a second wave of stimulus checks sent out by IRS last Friday. The effective date of the stimulus check is March 24th, today. Ultimately, banks, as IRS said earlier this Monday, had the determination whether to release the funds today, March 24th, ahead of time, March 23rd or March 22nd, or after the 24th, the 25th, for example, tomorrow. And we know that they were going to do that going into today. In fact, I reported that earlier this week. I reported last week. Why? Because last week, under the first wave, where the stimulus first wave's effective date was St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, some banks didn't release the funds on March 17th. They released them on the 18th and the 19th. Here's what you need to know. Some banks determined that they would release the funds on March 24th. Those are generally the big banks, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Chase, Citibank. The effective date of the stimulus check is March 24th for direct deposit. So the big banks generally, if they were going to release the funds today. Smaller banks, some of them release them in advance. Green Dot, for example, H&R Block Green Emerald Card released the funds yesterday. Other banks still release the funds a day after. And so if you're at a smaller bank, a credit union, an app bank, or similar, you would still see the funds post tomorrow, March 25th. So what if you're at a big bank and didn't see it post today? Or you still want to have a sense of what's going on tomorrow? Here's what IRS's advisory is. If you don't see the funds post today, April 24th, they're coming in the mail. My advice to you is that if you don't see them post by the end of this week, but certainly by the 25th, they're coming in the mail. Here's what you need to know. The IRS.GOV tracking tool has singularly been the best source of information since Saturday, when it went from a site that was not very helpful to a site that's incredibly helpful. About 50% of the viewers of this channel who have expected direct deposit for their stimulus check have gotten an alert that it's coming in the mail. And the remainder of those that have no result, it's because of the IRS tool is very finicky about the way in which you type in the address. More about that in a second. But let me go back to the IRS tool. If the IRS tool says it's coming by direct deposit, it came by direct deposit. But if the IRS tool says it's coming in the mail and shows a date, let me explain this. I explained it last night, and it's really unusual. And I'm glad that I'm making this recording for you because no one really explains this tool that well. If the IRS tool says mail, March 26, then please understand that that means that the stimulus check's effective date is March 26. Not that it will be going out in the mail on March 26, or not that the stimulus check is about to land in your mailbox on March 26. Rather, the effective date of the stimulus check is March 26. Remember, it's March. If I misspoke already in this video, said April at any time, I mean March, sorry. The effective date of the mail check, if you go to IRS.GOV and shows April 26 is March 26. March 26. So that's what you need to know. And when would you likely get the mailed checks? Well, you generally get them 1 to 2 days ahead of the effective date, which means that the IRS is usually very good on mailing the checks out ahead of time, so you get them in hand by the effective date of the check. That's why often you may get the check on the 24th if it says the 26th, or the 23rd if it says the 26th. Viewers of this channel started to get the stimulus checks last Thursday, Friday. So here's what you need to know. If you did not get a direct deposit today, then it's likely coming to you in the mail. Now, how can you narrow the likelihood and understand exactly where it is? There's a couple ways. One, if the IRS.GOV tool reveals a date to you of when that's in the mail, great. And if it shows a date like March 30th or March 31st or March 26th, understand you're going to get it before that date. That is the date of the check. That is not the date they're mailing it out. Number two, if you did not get a stimulus check today by direct deposit and the IRS tool is not very helpful, it doesn't give you any information, here's what you need to know. If you're expecting it at a big bank like a Wells Fargo or Chase and you don't see it tomorrow, it's coming in the mail because they don't hold the funds past the big drop date. They hold it maybe 1 day and that's about it. So tomorrow after the 25th, it's in the mail. It's pretty certain to understand it's in the mail. Third, if you don't bank at a big bank, you don't have results from the IRS.GOV tool, then what should you know? What you need to know is that the tool is updated about 2 to 3 times a week. It's not updated every single day. And so while some viewers say that it will lock you out if you check it more than 5 times a day, check it at least one time per day, because that tool will likely update itself and say, no, I've gone from no information to you to now information about you that it's coming on this particular date. Now, after you've heard all that and you're wondering, well, what else? Here is the what else. First, Direct Express card had a recording on its machine last week and it removed the recording yesterday. Second, Direct Express still has a posting on its website, but the posting is before the latest IRS advisory. The posting is March 15th. The IRS advisory was this Monday. The IRS advisory is you're not getting a direct deposit after this 24th. This is the final direct deposit. After that, it's in the mail. So understand, if anyone is telling you direct deposits are coming a couple of weeks from now, it's not the most up-to-date information. The most up-to-date information is from IRS earlier this week that it is coming in the mail if you don't get it by direct deposit. But as always, there's another wrinkle, and I got the wrinkle for you right now. Yesterday, out of nowhere, congressional Democrats saw a problem. And the problem or the issue that they saw was that some people weren't getting checks. And they thought there is an issue. So they wrote IRS. And this is what happened. Congressional Democrats, including Representative Richard Neal, who you'll recall I covered a lot last month. He's the chair of the House Ways and Means Committee. He's a Democrat, Massachusetts. And his committee is one of the biggest parts of the stimulus package of the 1.9. His committee had what the lion's share of that 1.9 to deal with. He wrote a letter that was co-signed by Representative John Larson, Democrat of Connecticut, Bill Parcells, Democrat of New Jersey, Danny Davis, and Democrat of Illinois, to IRS and Social Security. So it's a letter but sent to two departments. On Monday, calling for, quote, the immediate attention to an urgent matter. What's the urgent matter? Reported, this is their wording, not my wording, reported delays in sending $1,400 stimulus checks, third stimulus checks, to Social Security recipients, SSI, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, and not any other non-filers who receive benefits from the federal government. Yep, here we go. Here we go. Let me read you the letter, which I first delivered to members of this channel early before sunrise today. This is why you want to become a member. I don't want you to miss a single thing, but at least subscribe to this channel right now. You don't want to miss anything. Also like this video if this video is helpful for you. This is what the letter said, obtained by LALATE. The American Rescue Plan was intended to provide much-needed economic stimulus and assistance to the people around the country immediately, and we're counting on your agencies to ensure that beneficiaries are not left out behind in the seamless delivery of the payments. Some of our most vulnerable seniors and persons with disabilities, including veterans who served our country with honor, are unable to pay for the basic necessities while they wait for their overdue payments. That is the scope of the letter. Now, it doesn't really explain what the problem is. It says that there's something wrong with the routing of it. Not particularly clear. But as you know, as you've seen in the comments, as you've seen across the board, there have been issues. Let me summarize the issues, because ultimately there's always someone that jumps in the comments and says, no one this and no one that. Let me explain what's going on. People on SSI and SSDI, Social Security railroad benefits, did get stimulus checks from this $1,400 first wave within 24 hours after the first wave went out. Yes, those are people who banked with Chime, Bancorp, and also Cash App. They also got it the following Monday before St. Patrick's Day, and those were people on that used Green Emerald card by H&R Block. Other viewers continue to get it in the next few days before March 17th, which was St. Patrick's Day. And then on March 17th, a lot of them got the stimulus checks. So I want you to understand that there's hundreds of thousands of viewers of this channel on SSI and SSDI, Social Security and railroad benefits, who did get the stimulus check by or on March 17th, St. Patrick's Day, and more got it today. But as you and I know, those were not Direct Express card holders. With rare exceptions, I think I had 4 of Direct Express card holders get a stimulus check before today on the card. Now, I also had thousands and thousands of viewers who are on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and railroad benefits who are expecting a stimulus check by direct deposit and got it instead in the mail. So I want you to understand that people on benefits are getting the checks. They are getting the checks if they bank at big banks, credit unions, small banks. They're also getting the checks in the mail. They're also getting the checks before people not on benefits. But I have had issues with people not getting benefits from the Direct Express card before today. These are the banks where viewers from benefits got stimulus checks and people from not benefits got stimulus checks as well, up to today. Citizens Bank, PNG, Bancorp Chime, PayPal, NetSpend, Green Dot, People's United Bank as well, PNC, Capital One Bank, Lake Michigan Credit Union, Union Bank, also USAA, Metaspend, Amex Bluebird, Navy Federal, BBT, Woodforest, Bank America Chase, Wells Fargo, also the Emerald card and the TurboTax card. Now, I've also had viewers who are on benefits and they got it from a bank, but their boyfriend, who's also on benefits, didn't get it from that same bank. So you saw some strange peculiarities going on. Also, I want something to make something very clear to you as well. The people who got the stimulus checks who are on benefits did file a tax return, and some who don't file tax returns also got it. So it's not, I want you to understand, in reading that letter from those Democrats, I don't want you to think that all people on SSI didn't get a stimulus check. That's absolutely untrue. Second, I don't want you to think that all people on SSI who don't file tax returns didn't get a stimulus check. Also untrue. I don't want you to think that all people on benefits of a certain type didn't get the stimulus check. Also untrue. But what we have categorically seen is a lot of people not get the stimulus check of different walks of life. People on benefits, people not on benefits. People file, people don't file. People who are expecting direct deposit, people who don't expect direct deposit. And the only thing that had the most reoccurring trend line was, as you know, people on the Direct Express card not getting stimulus checks by today. Now, I also want to add to that as well. Countless viewers who are on the Direct Express card before today got it in the mail by mail delivery. You know, this goes back to the question of why? Why the mail delivery? And people always ask me that question. You know, LALATE, why is it coming in the mail? I set up direct deposit for a reason, so things wouldn't get lost in the mail. I set it up this way. And all I can say to you is, don't feel alone. You're not the first to ask this question. News reporters asked this question in December. And to now we are we're heading almost into April and late March, and we have never heard the answer to this question from IRS. IRS has never explained why people who set up a direct deposit account that works, that receive the first and second stimulus check fine, and that still works, suddenly have to get a check in the mail. It's not particularly assuring why it's happening, and it's also not assuring why there's no explanation why it occurs. The answer from IRS, it just happens. Moreover, let me explain additionally what I said yesterday. Let me explain in this video that under second stimulus, the number of people expecting direct deposit and getting by mail check was noticeable. I guess that's the best word to use for it. IRS had no advisory as to how many. This time around, I say it's about 50% of the viewers of this channel got it in the mail, this third stimulus of $1,400, when they're expecting it by direct deposit. IRS this time did give an advisory about it. A large percentage of those expecting direct deposit and who have gotten the first and second by direct deposit will get this one in the mail. Why? We don't know why. And this is why the situation continues to grow. I'll have more about this coming up in just a second. But boy, it is a big day with a lot of news. And it started with the president touring different parts, talking about fourth stimulus. It involved Jerome Powell testifying today at another banking committee, this time on the Senate side. Yesterday was the House side. It also involved new pushes for other regulations. I'll have all those details and more. But boy, there's just a lot to cover, and I got a lot more coming up, including more about when you would likely see the stimulus check. Stay with me. I'll be back in 60 seconds. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right after this with Hazard Pay. I'll be in that live chat with you. That's coming up in 90 minutes after this. Let me tell you the breaking, developing news elsewhere across the board for financial and from Wall Street to Main Street today. The 10-year Treasury note today backed off of its previous highs. It settled in at 1.6% over most of the day. Also today, the Federal Reserve Chairman and Jerome Powell, and your Treasury Secretary, Janet Yellen, who's appearing here, appeared before the Senate Banking Committee and spoke about where stimulus needs to go. Yellen and Powell's comments were similar to yesterday's comments, in which they basically said inflationary worries are not there, unemployment has not improved, job creation has not been robust enough, and that we need more stimulus. Very clear, very poignant across the board. Meantime, the Commerce Report came out this morning about U.S. durable goods, and they fell 1.1% in February. Not a particularly good number yet again. Homebuyer demand, meantime, came in higher than expected, but it's a mixed bag, because if you tuned in yesterday, we saw that housing starts are down. There's a higher level of interest rates, and that's why people aren't buying. Meantime, Robinhood could be going public. The company indicated in a new filing it may be pursuing going public. Bitcoin could get use for Tesla. Why? Because overnight Tesla announced in the simple tweet from Elon Musk, you can now buy a Tesla with Bitcoin. Elsewhere, forced stimulus remains a very big issue. And let me tell you a little bit about forced stimulus. It got really heated up today and yesterday as the President of the United States had quiet meetings with energy executives ahead of detailing his infrastructure plan. I'll have more about that infrastructure plan and what is in the forced stimulus package, including stimulus checks, in just a second. But let me rejoin you. How are you? How's your evening going? If you haven't said hi, say hi. I'm in the live chat with you. Say hi, LA. I'm there. Love to say hello back to you. Hope your day is going well. Hope your evening's going well. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. It's a big day with a lot of news and boy, a lot of breaking developments. I want you to stay positive, stay focused, and stay motivated. Also, like this video. Let's see if we can get 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 likes. And if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Coming up right after this in 90 minutes is Hazard Pay. So what should you think if you're sitting here watching Evenings LALATE and you got the stimulus check? Okay, you're good. You got it. What if you didn't get it? What if you didn't get it? And the IRS tool has no information for you. Well, first advice, check the tool tomorrow. It may re-update itself. The tool is updated about 2-3 times a week. It doesn't update itself every day. It doesn't update itself every hour. Number 2, check the bank deposits tomorrow. The bank deposits could reflect the stimulus check appearing in your deposits tomorrow. Remember, it generally does not give a pre-warning alert. It just appears. Fortunately, our third stimulus checks today appeared without pre-warning to countless viewers of this channel. It just landed in the bank account. So understand that it may not show a pending status. It may not show an alert that's coming. Additionally, calling up your bank won't help. They will have no more information than you actually see in the portal of your bank site. It'll either appear tomorrow or not appear. Meantime, if you do use that IRS tool and it does reveal results, and the results are a mailed stimulus, understand you could be getting one of 2 different instruments, 1 a paper check or 2 a debit card. Both come in either a white or beige envelope. The envelope's very thin. It's easy to throw away. You don't want to discard it. And the envelope is generally unmarked. It doesn't have more than just a few words on the outside. There's no seal. It doesn't look like official mail, to be very frank. So you do not want to throw it away. I had viewers on the second stimulus. I had viewers on the third stimulus that threw it away. Meantime, it's important to understand, and I know this is a hard message to deliver, but it's important to understand that your non-receipt of the stimulus check today or tomorrow is not a result of who you are. I think that I'm probably going to have to say that sentence every day for the next 3 days, because I have viewers of all walks of life who have gotten the stimulus check from all different paths and processes. The only circumstance have been the direct express consumers. They have had problems receiving it. They have had problems receiving it. Almost all the viewers of this channel who had used the direct express card coming into today had not received it. I had no less than a handful that received it, which is not a good number. It's not a good number. But everyone besides the direct express consumers, well, let me back up. I did have a large number of direct express consumers get the IRS.GOV alert that it's not coming on the card, it's coming in the mail. So that's really good news. But what I want you to understand is that if you think that the IRS is treating people who don't file tax returns differently than people who do, it's untrue. If you think that IRS is treating people differently because they're seniors, it's untrue. If you think they're treating you differently because you're on benefits than someone who isn't on benefits, it's untrue. It is literally inconsistent across the board. I've had people on benefits get stimulus checks within the first 24 hours. I've had people not on benefits get stimulus checks. I've had people who never file tax returns get stimulus checks the first day. I've had people who do file tax returns still not get their stimulus check. I've had people not on benefits still not get their stimulus check. And I have had people on benefits get their stimulus check. So it is literally all over the place for the universe. Ultimately, you and I know how the federal government has dealt with situations over the last year. The latest advisory from IRS was Monday. That advisory may get updated again. It may get updated again. And it has a lot of advisories to issue. One was issued overnight, and that's also very important. I'm going over it right now. This one is about unemployment. Now remember, for unemployment benefits, the third stimulus package passed a rule that your first $10,200 is tax-free from 2020. Now that rule had a provision in it though. It said it only can be done for people who made less than $150,000 in 2020. Well, guess what? IRS issued a new advisory today and yesterday. That new IRS advisory said that when determining your income in 2020 to see whether you are over or under that $150,000 threshold, you do not need to include your unemployment benefits as part of that calculation. This is a great result because this means a lot more people will fall within the income threshold. Here's an example. Let's say you did work a little bit in 2020, but you were also unemployed for 2020. And let's say you made $110,000 in 2020, but you also made $40,000 in unemployment benefits. Well, that would mean that at that point, $41,000 in unemployment benefits, that would mean, bam, you're above the 151. You would have to pay taxes on all that $41,000 of unemployment benefits. IRS says, no, we will not have you don't have to include the unemployment income as part of the calculation for this $150,000 threshold. You can leave it out to keep it out of the threshold for determining whether you can deduct the $10,200. To which you're probably going to ask me, so when are they going to give an advisory about how you do it? Because they haven't given the advisory of how you do the $10,200. Yeah, that's still coming up. That's still coming up. Meantime, the President of the United States made a lot of tours yesterday and today. And during those tours, he talked about the need for gun regulations, the need for new technologies, and the need for the stimulus to land. Let's watch one of those videos from the President of the United States today.
Dogs are able to, they're using dogs now because their olfactory glands are 400 times what a human is, to smell cancer in people's legs and people's bodies. Not a joke. It's a fascinating thing.
Sir, is it comforting or is it hopeful or more painful for you to hear about cancer developments like this?
It's mostly hopeful because I don't want to see anybody go through what my son went through. One of the things you should be aware of, there's probably more soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines coming home with brain cancers than any time in American history because of exposure. Some of you have read the book Burn Pits. There's a lot of research that still has to be done to determine whether or not exposure to these toxins in the air have had something to do with it. Also, you have an awful lot of these IEDs have caused brain trauma in other ways as well. So,
the president made several tours across the country today, and tomorrow the president will continue to make more tours as well. What's important to understand is that in forced stimulus, there's a lot of things heating up. And here's my opinion of the situation, and you've heard it over the last few days, and I'll continue to detail them to you. Forced stimulus is really messy at the moment. It's very messy. And it's messy because the president's proposing things that no one will support. Democrats won't support, Republicans won't support. He's talking about capital gains taxes, inheritance taxes, middle-class taxes, wealth taxes to pay for fixing a freeway. Not particularly a popular idea. Yesterday, the President of the United States, or today we learned the President of the United States met yesterday with major leaders from energy and climate to talk about what he wants in forced stimulus. That ultimately doesn't really play into the real problem, which is not getting the business sector behind the bill, but getting the American legislature behind the bill. Because if you intend to raise taxes and if you intend to do things like that meeting with BP, Chevron, Exxon, and BHP this week in the White House, which the president apparently did about forced stimulus, doesn't really get it to the finish line. Getting it to the finish line is understanding how you're going to pay for it. And if you're paying for it with taxes, that's going to be a big issue. I'll have all those issues and more tomorrow morning on Early Mornings LA at 4 a.m. Eastern Standard of West Coast time, 7 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please join me for that big broadcast. Also, EIDL at 3 a.m. On the West Coast, 6 a.m. on the East Coast, followed by FPUC 30 minutes later. But tonight, I'm back with you in 90 minutes on Hazard Pay. Hazard Pay. Join me for that chat fest. I'm in there. Chatterama. Also, if you're in this chat, say hi. I'll say hi right back to you. Thank you for joining me on a big night of Evenings LA. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Like this video. Let's see if we can do 2,000 to 3,000, 4,000 likes. And consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Thank you for joining me on a big night of Evenings LA. And we'll have more breaking details about the arrival of more stimulus checks tomorrow as Evening LA continues.